Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. Alice Mills Publishing came out with a new book, and she has them out in both the versions that I showed in my last video, the cross-stitch version, which you know I love. But she just recently started coming out with the Mosaic version, and boy, I've been coloring out of both versions, and I truly can't tell you which one I prefer. I have fallen in love. Well, you know, I always did love this. But I am really falling in love with these two. So they are both so much fun. As you can see, I did color a couple out of each book. Colored the same images out of each book so you can see the difference. So we're going to flip through one, and then we're going to flip through the other one. We will directly compare the two pages that I got done. You may get a better idea of which version you may like to try. The one thing I can say up front about the two versions, if you have a vision impairment or you would like an easier version of the book, the Mosaic version is much easier than the cross stitch. This is color by number. This is color by symbol. These symbols are very tiny in the middle of each X. I know some people are put off by that. So again, this one is much easier to color, but I do love these two, and I love the finished look of this. I love the cross stitch look. So again, you're going to see the differences in these two books. Let's look at the cross stitch first. So this is called Sweetest Blooms. I think this is going to be one of my new favorites. You know I love flowers. So the two that I colored in here were so pretty. I'm just working on a third one in here. Haven't gotten too far on it yet though. So this is the front cover. The back cover, we do see a few images from inside the book. Her books are on premium paper, which I absolutely love. The alcohol ink does not spread on this paper. It's much easier on brush tip nibs because it's so smooth. And so yeah, I love this paper. It says, enjoy these floral designs from flowers in detail to bouquets, repeating patterns, and abstracts. This book is also available in the Mosaic color by number version. So let's take a look. Again, this is the color by symbol edition. So we have our, well, not title page, but talks about the book itself. And it does recommend what I have always recommended, and she now states it in this book. So starting at the back of the book, if you use alcohol markers. The reason for this, and I always like to point this out for those of you who have never seen a flip through of these types of books of mine, not books of mine, a flip through of mine showing these books. If you are coloring with alcohol markers, you color this page. Of course, the alcohol marker is going to bleed through onto this page. Now, if this was color by number, so in here, it still is going to make a difference, and I'll explain why. But especially on the cross stitch, because the symbols are so small. Now, every color, the symbol is the exact same throughout all of her books. So for instance, this light purple has a squiggly symbol going from the upper left to the lower right. Light purple, that symbol is the same throughout all of her books. So if you have these symbols memorized, kudos to you. I've colored in these books, I don't know how often, and I still don't have them memorized. A couple of them I do, but so you likely are not going to know what colors correspond with what symbols. And again, if you color this one, it's going to cover up the key here. And yeah, you would have to flip through to another page to see, oh, what's the symbol for light purple? So that is the reasoning. If you start from the back of the book and you color this, I guess I can show you because you're going to see it anyhow. See how it covers up? This page covers up the key, covers up the sample image. Whereas if you color here and you do the next one, it doesn't matter if you cover this up because you've already colored that picture. So that's why I always recommend starting in the back of the book. So let's take a look. Getting squiggy with it. I just love how she names these pictures. They are so funny. Getting spriggy with it. Isn't that pretty? Now, as all her other books, you will find one that is in a round embroidery hoop, in an oval embroidery hoop. This one's called Buds and Blooms. Again, so pretty. And then one that is full page. And then it will repeat that pattern. Bright spray. Oh, look at those colors. Oh, and they just pop with that black background. So again, round. This one's called Frilled Favor. Oh my gosh. Some of them have very few colors. So this one only has 5 colors, but look, isn't that beautiful? Like I said, fast becoming my favorite. Lavender Bee Lever. That's cute. I have a lavender and a bee. Reflecting on traditions. So yeah, some of the pictures have a lot more of the colors. Abstract Bloom. There is a color key in the back that has all the colors listed. You can match up your colors. I'll show you that when we get to the back of the book. Praise to my vase, or vase, depending on how you pronounce it. Hydrangea Sunset. Ooh, look at that orange background. What I do is I always color the image in itself, then I do the background at the end. If you do it the other way, me at least, I have a tendency to just keep zipping along, zipping along, zipping along, and all of a sudden I color one of the symbols that is, you know, one of the image colors, and oops. So that's why I do the image colors first, then I do the background. Or I'll color at least the top part. And then, you know, if you don't want to do all the oranges because you're getting sick of all the oranges at the end, maybe color part of it, then color some of the background. I've done that already too. Just keep the markers out that you're using. Bright Buds. Aussie Locals. Must be Australia flowers, because that is where Alice Mills is from. She is from Australia. I do want to thank Alice Mills for sending me these books. She is such a kind gal. We have kind of conversed back and forth a number of times, and yes, very, very nice lady. Parlor wallpaper. Oh, I love that. Gorgeous. Into the middle. Oh, look at those colors. Can you tell I like this book? Poppies to Remember. Looping Back to Me. Lazy Daisy Chain. Whenever she comes up with these names. The Powers That Be. This is the one that I started in the other book. Flower Power. Now these are the two that I did. Tulips on Tiptoe. This was fun because it's kind of a repeating pattern. Did these two with my Art and Fly markers. These are my new-ish markers. And Lily Softness. That beautiful tiger lily. Here is your color key, which contains all the colors throughout all of her books. You can match up your colors here to some coloring mediums. We hope you enjoyed this book. We would love to hear your feedback. If you have the time to leave a review, that would help us so much. Leaving a review on Amazon does really help out the publishers of these books. Any books. Here lists all of the Alice Mills coloring books. So these are the newest ones. And then these are the cross-stitch style color by number books. So these newest ones have both versions. So we have the cross-stitch style and the mosaic style. I don't know if she's going to go back and create mosaic versions of these or not. She has not told me that, but so yeah, she has, you know, Halloween one, and there is a Christmas one. Where is that in here? Yeah, Christmas Delight. Yeah, just all kinds. This Geometric Joys is a fun one. So yeah. And then you have a blank sheet at the back. So let's look at the mosaic version. So again, looks quite different from the cross stitch. The back of the book, again, shows some images from inside the book. So we are going to take a look at this version. Front is the same. Now, like I said, these are color by number. So you can see these much, much easier. The color palette is the same, but the key is by number. I still would suggest starting from the back of the book and moving your way forward to the front, because otherwise you do cover this up. You can still make out what color goes to what number, so that probably wouldn't be a problem, but you are going to cover up the picture. That sometimes can help you if you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I got these reds. Where else is there a red? Kind of, you know, you don't want to cheat and have, you know, you would have to count in here in order to see exactly where they go, but it gives you an idea. Okay, I have red somewhere in each corner, so not quite as not as hard to, or not as easy to miss some of the colors, which I know I do an awful lot. So again, if we look at, well, I'll compare the two pictures that I completed. So we'll just go through relatively quickly the mosaic version. Like I said, they do look a little different than the cross stitch. These are kind of, what should I say, marquee, sideways marquee shaped areas to color. And they're very easy to color. If you have, like, I use brush tip markers a lot. I have a tendency of just doing this, like an N, sort of. I'll go down here, and that fills up each area, you know. It doesn't take long to do. However you want to color it. But that's how I find that I started doing these. So, yep, all the same pictures. They're so pretty. Parlor wallpaper. That, oh, cannot wait till I get to that one. Lazy daisy. This is the one that I've started now, the Powers That Be, where it says Flower Power. So I started doing the light blue. And then again, the two that I completed. So now let's look at the cross-stitch version versus the mosaic version. If you look at the two, they do have a different look to them. You know, these are colored in more solid. Maybe you can make out the picture a little bit better. And like I said, these are easier to color. However, you know me, I still love my cross-stitch look. And that's why in all the 3x3 millimeter Mystery Mosaic coloring books, like what Belva family has out and such Deva has out, I always do the cross stitch method or the X method. I just love how they look, so I do love the cross stitch method. I like that too. So like I said, I can't make up my mind which version I like better. But then this is the Lily. So this one you definitely can pick out the Lily much better on the Mosaic. Again, because it's colored in more solidly than the cross stitch. Especially the blue. Now, this is when I had picked out a different blue for the light blue, and I didn't like how dark the light blue was. I switched over to this blue, which is a little too light. I didn't have something in the middle, but I much prefer this light blue to this. This is just too dark. So that is kind of why this pops more. So this is not necessarily a good comparison, is it? But if we just look at the Lily itself, you can see it a little bit more, a little bit better in the Mosaic version versus this. So it all depends on what kind of look, you're going for, that you like. So there you go. Alice Mills' newest coloring book in the 2 versions. As usual, I will leave links down below in the description to both versions if you want to check them out yourselves. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing Alice Mills' newest book. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. And as always, happy coloring. Bye, guys.